All right, I made sure to hit the record button again.
Let's
Gentlemen,
go.
episode 11,
Yes,
Red River
sir.
Rundown. Y'all know what time it is. First, I do want to start with this YouTube TV and ESPN.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Figure your shit
Yeah,
out.
get some shit figured out because there should
Good
be no
God.
reason that I should be having to stream these games on my phone because that's horrible. But gents, we had some football last night. We had the World Series. Let's start there actually.
Yeah,
That's the
that
first time
yeah.
that I've watched baseball like that long and not just been doing something else in forever. And damn, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I think that YouTube and ESPN did that for people to watch
So
the World Series because there's nothing else on except for like Kansas State versus Texas Tech. But if you watch that game, you were in for a bumpy ride. The Dodgers were able to pull it out. Did you guys watch it? If you didn't, what are your takes on it? I told y'all the Dodgers were winning that motherfucker though.
I put a $0 bet on the Dodgers to win, so they cashed out for me. Uh, no, that was a really good game. I watched it. I kind of flipped between the OU game and that game. At one point, when I think the Blue Jays were up like 3-1, I turned it off because it was like the top of the sixth or the bottom of the sixth. And then I flipped to the OU game. Tennessee had just scored, and then Kirk Herbstreit in the OU game in the fourth quarter was like, I wouldn't give up if I was a Vols fan because right now the Dodgers are only down one run in the top of the eighth, or they're tied the ball game up at the top of the eighth. So never say never. And I was like, yeah, we'll go ahead and switch that back. Switched it back, and I mean the last 3 innings of that game. I mean you count the extras, crazy. One, Andrew Paez just absolutely mowing over Kike Hernandez on that on that deep
Depleted, bro.
yeah, on that deep shot. He was like, "No, fuck you, dude. This is my ball. My ball." And he went and got it. Him coming in also
Yeah,
smart
right
play
before
by
that. Yeah.
yeah, smart move by Dave Roberts in that in that moment. I mean, there was I think the whole series the Dodgers left a shitload of people stranded on base throughout the entire series, and kind of when it came down to it, even the throw home by Miguel Rojas, I mean, he slipped, he fired that bitch in there, and Will Smith pulled his foot for a slight second, and it was very very close. It was, I mean, if the, I don't know, I mean,
Splitting
I don't think
hairs.
it's yeah, literally splitting hairs. I mean, if he doesn't pull his foot, they don't look at it that long. But I mean, for that split second, you almost thought that he got his foot under there before he tapped his foot back down, and that would have been the ball game. And Yamamoto just dealing up there, son, just dealing. And overall, man, I mean, that was a classic. I mean, I feel bad for all the Blue Jays fans except for Drake. And Dodgers did it again, man. They sent off Kershaw the only way they knew how with the dub. So great
I
game.
Hey, round of applause for Will Smith. Y'all realize this man's won the World Series 6 years in a row?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
crazy.
crazy.
That is insane.
he
I
is the
saw that
World
this
Series, bro.
morning when yeah, like, you know what? Whatever team he signs with, or if he's still with the Dodgers, just go ahead and give it to him. This man is unmatched. Yeah, I agree with Isaiah though. The Pajes catch, my God, what a moment. Bases loaded, two outs, ball in the gap, almost a surefire walk off, and he just absolutely mowed over Kike to catch that ball. Like, you track it that well at the warning track, mow over your own player and still come down with the ball is pretty solid, especially when you come in cold in the damn 10th. Like, that's crazy. Or it might have been the ninth, either the ninth or the 10th. But I I just felt like game 7 that had all the drama. They clear benches in the second inning. That's like, the fuck you start a fight in the World Series in game 7. That's crazy. I've never seen that. But I I wanted Toronto to win because I'm one of those. I think I have winners fatigue with the Dodgers. I'm kind of tired of seeing them. I'm ready for the MLB. I'm ready for that dynasty to be done and for it to be for there to be more
Parody.
what's the word? Yes. So I was about to say the word we talked about last week. I'm ready for some more parity in Major League Baseball, and I think it's coming. But God dang, dude, Yamamoto's. Oof. That dude can pitch, man.
Yeah, you can.
And their lineup is the Dodgers lineup is so stupid, so deep. I'm happy for Freddie. I'm a Freddie Freeman guy. He plays baseball the right way. He keeps the main thing the main thing. Just like Kershaw. I'm happy for Kershaw. I'm just tired
Shout
of
out
seeing
to
the
Mook
Dodgers.
Dog too, dog. 4.
Yeah,
He's got 4.
yeah.
Most of any
And
active player.
and I think in 3 different World Series he played 3 different positions. Because the first one with the Dodgers, he was in right field. I think he was in the infield with the Sox, and then he was back in the infield for this one.
I think he went right field with the Sox, second the first time with the Dodgers, and short
Yeah.
the second time.
Either way, for you to win 4 World Series playing 3 different positions is that's pretty solid, man. That's a hell of a player.
Yep.
But
I felt bad for
it
Vlad
was
Jr. though.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, did
He-
everything he could, man.
Bro, he was gassed. He was
Yeah.
gassed, bro. He hit that shot
It-
down the left baseline and just got on second and was let's fucking go. I was like, man, that's it right there. That's it. And then they stranded him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Yes Savage or Yes Savage or however you say the rookie pitcher for the Blue Jays, man, he was just crazy good throughout the entire postseason.
Yeah.
And they bring him in a weird spot. He's not starting, but I mean that's what you do in Game 7. You put one of your best people out there, and I think he pitched Game 6. I think he did, but
Yeah, he
I
can't
mean, I
hold
feel
anything
bad.
back.
yeah,
Can't
I
hold
mean,
anything back now. We know. We know.
he did the best he could. I mean, he's still got a lot of ball left to play. I hope that he kind of rides some of that momentum into next season and continues to improve because he was playing really, really good.
Yeah.
Um,
Blue
and-
Jays fans, y'all should check into therapy. Not even trying to be funny, but the amount of middle, like it got me. Whenever it was at the top of the 11th, when dude broke through that inside cutter and Shohei broke his bat, they got him
Yeah.
out. I was like, oh, this might be a wrap. And then you
Yeah.
give up a solid shot to the
Yeah.
Fresh Prince,
Immediately.
baby. But yeah, I was like, oh God. And like he was hyped. He was like, yeah, Otani, sit the fuck down. Got you, boy. And yeah, game time. Good
I know,
game.
and-
Great game 7.
I felt like, the big names for the Dodgers really, they're there, but as far as like what Freddie Freeman did last year in the World Series was like crazy. I mean, it was storybook. And then like this World Series, it was like they were getting it from like, middle of the pack guys like Miguel Rojas or Edu Paez or, Blake Snell pitched like shit the entire World Series. So, Yamamoto was the only one that was like really dominant. Mookie Betts had a run at he didn't have the good hitting performance during the World Series. I mean, Teoscar Hernandez didn't hit that great. Like all the big names didn't really like ball out. It was the other people on the team, and that's why Dave Roberts is a good manager, man. I mean, he showed it.
I need them to pass some of that money my way because they throwing that shit around like they're in cahoots with Vegas.
I need the Steelers to hire Dave Roberts.
Man,
Immediately.
nah, I'm actually fine because old boy is now the owner of the Lakers, and it just went through the other day. So Jeannie Buss is kind of still in the front office, but she's not running it. So that means the Rambuses are out, and yeah, I'm happy. The Lakers about to get in that ass, but I mean, great World Series.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say great World Series. Is baseball back?
No.
Not yet.
Hey, baseball will always be back for the purists.
I agree, but I'm telling you, bro, conspiracy theory me. I feel like YouTube and ESPN did that for a reason. I think there's no better game 7 to watch in modern history than that. I feel like I ingested a lot of baseball in a short amount of time. It didn't feel like, even though it was later, it didn't feel like I was watching old school baseball where from the 5th to the 7th inning, it took 3.5 hours. It felt like it went quick. You could feel the emotions and everything like that. And if they, like what everybody's calling for now is a salary cap and a salary floor, if they were to implement that into baseball and add more parity, like you mentioned, hey, That's all I'm gonna say.
It could be
I
interesting.
yeah.
My only problem or my only argument with that is people baseball is hot on opening week,
In the
and then nobody
playoffs.
gives a fuck until
Until the
October.
playoffs.
Like,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
sad because there's a lot of great baseballs in the middle there. It's just such a long season. It's
A lot
tiring,
of
and
the amount of games, period. I think it's
yeah,
what
and they
puts it
do
in that
dumbass
position.
shit like I was talking to Borrego and T Bright last night watching the World Series. And I don't understand why all season they in the extra innings they start with a man on second, and then the playoffs they don't do that. So if you're not going to
Clear.
do that in the most important games, why the fuck are you doing it anyways? Like, period. Like, just play the fucking game. If it goes, you figured out ways with the pitch clock and all that stuff to speed the game up. Play the game the right way. I don't. I think a lot of people like with it's kind of like with football. I think football sometimes loses fans with not being able to hit the quarterback. All these ticky tack fouls piss people off, and I think the same thing happened to baseball. Only football's a lot more entertaining to watch, even with the fouls. Baseball's not. Baseball, you have to. If you're at the park, baseball's a great time. But if you're at home watching it on TV,
It's
it's
ass.
hard to sit. Yeah, like
You take a
I
nap.
don't know. Yeah, bro. It's just like NASCAR. Like NASCAR's great when they wave the green flag and when they wave the white flag for the checker. Like that's when or if there's an accident somewhere. Other than that, I
Yeah.
turn that shit on when I'm tired on a Sunday afternoon. I want to take a nap.
That's a good
I'm
nap
in
Or
right
some
there.
or
I'm in
some
my I'm in
golf,
my unk
baby.
stage.
Hey, bro, golf is similar too. I give you that, but I will
Mhm.
say, bring steroids back, baseball.
Yeah. Yeah.
So OU Tennessee last night. OU gets the dub on the road, which is a big time win on the road. I love the grit. I love the fight. I love the ups and downs. There was some stuff that obviously, for me personally, like I'll start with it, but defense, take a bow. Defense and Sandell, short shorts.
Yeah.
I wear short shorts. Who wears? Y'all peg, yeah,
Crazy.
right. Nuts hanging out and all kinds of stuff. Pause. But I love that their ability to show up big in the biggest moments. Offense in the first half looked non-existent at times. They were able to put some drives together. They missed a lot of stuff. The interception late. It's very frustrating. You're able to get the
Stupid
dub. Yeah,
fucking play
yes,
call,
yeah.
bro.
It well
Dumb.
BV called it, and he essentially BV blamed that on Mateer because he said it was an
Yeah, you
RPO.
cannot
It
throw
was,
it.
but you
Yeah.
do not throw that. That's you run the ball. That was going to lead me to my next. First off, I don't like that your quarterback and the running back both have the same amount of carries. I think if Xavier Robinson got 30 carries in that game, he runs for 240 yards.
Yeah,
And
bro.
I know he had that fumble, but dude,
Sure.
he's mowing. In my opinion, I think the biggest step back that we've seen from Mateer doesn't come from the injury. I think it's his desire to be a playmaker, and he still doesn't know at times. He just needs to do what he did in that at the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Just let the game come to you. Take the
No.
easy read, stop trying to hold on to the ball, throw the quick route, keep the sticks moving, and just keep it pushing. I think he had some poor decisions, but defense showed up big. OU still has some breath, still alive, baby. But
That's
we'll see
right.
what
That
happens.
is right. Yeah, I first off, I want to acknowledge the play of the game in my opinion. Robert Spears Jennings snagging that onside kick. Absolute play of the game. If he
Yes.
doesn't catch that, Tennessee's getting that.
Yeah.
There's like three Tennessee kickoff guys that were right there waiting on it. Absolute snag of a ball. But yeah, I'm with you. That's the most Jacksonville-esque win I've ever seen in my life. You get the defense came up when they needed to, played a hell of a game in the middle eight. Well, I guess it would be the middle 24. Like second and third quarter, they played extremely well. But you still got carved up and you forced turnovers when you needed to. Like OU won on turnovers and 55-yard field goals. Money well spent on Tate Sendell. I don't know what they're paying him, but we still have 3 games left in the regular season, plus what comes late afterwards, and this man's already broken the school record for 50 yarders. Like, take a bow. clutch kick after clutch kick last night.
Just don't let your nuts fall out of
Um,
them shorts.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's get some longer pants for my guy. Um, now
That's a penalty.
I have been saying this since week one when they released the two deep week one. I don't understand, and last night he was. I never understood why Xavier Robinson wasn't RB1. He is he is the most physical runner we have. He blocks well, he catches well. He's faster than you would think at his size. Now he's got breakaway speed and he's got crazy vision. Torrey Blaylock is fast. He's got vision, but when he gets hit, he goes down. Like last night they started Robinson, they featured him and he performed. He produced. Like the running game is it's crazy when you have the right back and you let him get a rhythm. Like just let him cook. Stop moving people in and out. Stop running three running backs out there. Give him the fucking ball and let him go. Also, started two freshmen at tackle last night. Offensive line looked a lot better. Boj and Fasusi, like those guys got after it. So I don't know what the status is with the line, but those two need to stay on the field. And then you got two more 5 stars coming in. I think the line. I think the line might be in good shape for next year.
I agree.
But
You don't even have to knock on wood paws.
yeah.
I agree. I think they're getting better and they're getting younger is the better thing. If it was getting better and it was all transfer guys or fifth year seniors or something like that, then I would be like, but they're
Yeah.
young and the guys are getting some experience. So they'll be in a better spot at least compared to earlier this year and last year.
You know what I didn't see a lot of yesterday or last night, late last night? I didn't see a lot of fire Venables. Oh, like
Oh, trust me, there was some
OU
there.
is
Because
oh
they won. That's the only
oh
Well,
reason.
no,
you
no,
was
it was there.
no,
It
I'm
just
sure it
yeah,
was.
it was just once Mateer threw that pick, it was more fire Arbuckle for a second, but then with that dub, it was one of those okay, his clock kind of reset because there's still it. You know what time it is, bro. There people are such. What have you done for me lately? And that lately is literally the last week that they don't care about what true sports is about. You have ups and downs. It just happens. They just, oh, we lost. I'm not there. I'm not in the locker room. I don't care. I don't like that we lost a game. Fire him. And it's like, okay,
No,
bud.
I'm just like Brent Venables has put a good team together. He has more than that. He has built because most of these guys, you have the occasional Kendall Daniels. Most of the guys have been here since day one, like since freshman, and have developed under Venables. He has built a good team. So it's the SEC, man. It's just like the NFL. You're gonna, as long as you're competing and giving yourself a chance week in and week out, like yeah, you want to win games. And if you drop a fucking 5-7 or a 6-6 when you're supposed to go, 9-3, and it's disappointing, cool. But the team last week was 6-2, losing to Ole Miss, who was ranked top 10. Like at home, had a chance to beat them, kind of shot yourself in the foot. That's gonna happen. Way to respond. You went into Knoxville, tough environment. It's always a tough environment, especially when they're doing that blackout shit. Like,
Good old rocket
and
top.
you performed. Like, you could have easily after dropping that Ole Miss game, OU last year, OU goes in there and gets beat by 40. Could have easily been the same this year, but they show grit. Like, I don't know. I'm excited for the rest of the year. I don't think we're gonna have the same results in Tuscaloosa, obviously, but I'm more excited about next year, man, because this whole
Just
team is
being a
young.
realist.
And Mateer's played himself out of the first round, I feel like.
Oh
So
yeah,
Mateer's probably going to come back and have another year after a year of SEC play. Maybe he's a little bit better next year. I don't know. I like where the team could be next year because almost your whole defense comes back. You're you get two more 5-star offensive linemen plus your 5-star guys on this year that are freshmen are getting a lot of really good run. I don't know. The only thing that worries me is the receiver core
yeah.
because you lose to Tegna, and it seems like he's the only fucking receiver we have right now.
That's
Like,
consistent, yeah.
yeah,
I also before you guys, yeah, I agree 100%, Cam. I was gonna say, I think, I think sports betting, prize picks, fantasy football, I think that has fried people's mind with the expectation of how long it takes to be where you want to be. So people judge and gauge everything based off of 1 week. So you see people that call for people's jobs after one bad game, one bad week, one loss because it's affecting their money because they're betting and they immediately just think, oh, this guy had a bad week, he's ass, and it's like, oh no, he just had a bad week. That's it. It literally happens all the time, but they'll even say stuff like, oh, he had 2 bad games. Your ass is like, brother, no, just let's talk about this at the end of the season. But go ahead,
Yeah,
Isaiah. What do you think?
well, I got one more. Why? Listen, Mateer is a stupid decision on the RPO. I said I was saying it right when it happened. I'm like, why the like uh somebody said, let's throw it deep right here. And I was like, there's 4 minutes left and we're up 2 scores. Just run the fucking ball and make them use their timeouts. You need maybe 2 first downs to finish it. Just run the ball. Either way, you're in field goal range. You're gonna put the game out of reach regardless. But even if you're gonna throw the fucking ball, why do we have a guy on the field that never fucking plays? Why don't we run that slant RPO to fucking Sategna? Who like why do we keep doing that in big moments? We trot people out there that never play
And,
at
honestly,
receiver.
I
Bro,
think it was because the mindset. Everybody else in that
yeah,
stadium was like, "Run the ball,"
run.
and
Yeah.
Mateer was like, "Bet."
I'm
Russ
gonna
is my
throw
favorite
this
player.
Yeah,
side arm fucking heater just right. I'm just gonna fire this ball to
Bro,
second
the
base right
crazy
here.
the
And make
crazy
sure we
thing
get
is
the double play.
it wasn't a bad throw.
No, it
And like it
wasn't.
really wasn't. He threw it. He made a good he threw a
he
good
fit it in the
ball.
window. He fit it in the
He
window.
Put
It's
it in a
just he
just
good
just
spot.
fired that shit at like 102 miles an hour off dude's chest.
Let's while we're talking about this game, let's make sure that even though OU won, if they take the points on 4th and 1 right there, that game looks very different for Tennessee. Instead, they run. Heupel called the perfect play, and a freshman tight end let that shit bounce off of his fucking face
Bro,
mask.
do
Very
do you
different
want to
game if that doesn't happen.
do you want to know why he called that play? I guarantee I don't know because I'm not in Heupel's head, but Ole Miss fried the fuck out of OU with that same exact play. That little play action,
Mm,
H back in the flat.
yeah.
They killed OU on that play. And I was telling them last night, I was like, they're gonna run it in the flat. And somebody was like, oh, they're gonna run it. Look at all the fucking big bodies they got in there. I said they're gonna throw it in the flat, bro. I'm telling you. Because that's what beat OU last week. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
It was a
But
brilliant play.
yeah, great play call. I mean, and everybody was like, I can't believe they threw it to a freshman right there. I mean, he was wide open. Like, he couldn't have. Jesus Christ. I mean, if he catches that ball, he probably runs for another 10 before somebody gets close to him. But I'm not hating by any means. I'm just saying the defense played well. I think they went into a super soft like zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean so a lot of those yards that Aguilar threw for really in the late fourth quarter, trash yards. I mean, he had a couple drops. That receiver was wide open for the touchdown. Dropped that. So OU's defense played great, and a lot of those trash yards that they got to put them in a position to even make it competitive when really the game was out of reach. Every time that OU had a chance to fuck it up, they didn't outside of the pick. I mean, I think for the most part, I mean the fumble, I mean that's a perfect punch. That's the Peanut Tillman punch. I mean, he threw a fucking right straight right into where he had the ball tucked. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, so you can't knock Xavier Robinson for that one. Overall, man, I mean, it was a good game. It was probably the best game on yesterday outside of Vanderbilt shooting themselves in the foot and then coming back and scoring 21 unanswered in the fourth quarter to
Miami SMU is pretty
kind of,
good.
yeah. Well, not with Carson Beck. No,
I told
I
you.
just hate. He's
told you.
just not. He's a pretender. I mean, you kind of see it, but outside of that, yeah, that by far was the best game. At least for us to still be awake and watch. I mean, I was about to watch that BYU game. Fuck no, dude. That just shit started at like 9:30.
YouTube, you screwed us, bud.
Yeah, I
But
was
I
so
mean,
mad. Shout out to Cameron for letting me still use the YouTube TV of his. I went to fire up College Game Day, and I was like, "Where's it at?" and I searched it. I was freaking out for like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, what's going on right now? And then I remember that dumbass commercial that they played. They were like, keep sports networks on YouTube TV, keep ESPN on there. I was like, that started today
Yeah,
of
bro.
all days.
It'll watch. This is how I know it's a conspiracy. Where is it
It'll-
right now? It's 8:07 on November the 2nd. Tonight by 8 o'clock, they'll probably come to a deal that they'll sign tomorrow on Monday, and then next week college
Yep.
football will be back.
The mob needed their money.
Needed that
For
money,
people to-
baby. They needed
Well,
that
didn't
money.
they did the same thing with NBC or CBS? It was one of the networks that was carrying the NBA games. Maybe it was no, it wasn't ABC. What? Because it was during the playoffs, and I thought I couldn't watch the Thunder, and I was pissed. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Mhm.
But it was the same shit. I'm like, y'all, like it's
Well,
it's
now they're on like the
sadly-
FanDuel Sports Network. The Thunder are.
Yeah.
If it's a local game that's not like broadcasted on NBC, I ain't about to pay for that
Man,
shit.
I went to fucking streaming to get away from bullshit like this.
Right?
This is just like Dish, man. It
Yeah.
ain't no different.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's no difference
it's
at all.
stupid.
Um,
It's dumb as fuck, man.
I do
Can't
want to
even watch
shout
local
out.
games.
I want to shout out because I mean, I think they've switched places compared to where they were whenever we first started this. But shout out to Arch Manning. Boy came out
Yeah.
and played his ass off. He's
Yeah.
playing
He
really
balled.
well. He's been balling. I'll give him his just due.
So the
I
shoulder
did-
injury was real, is what we're
Well,
saying.
nah, I just think he's. I think what he's doing is what you should and everybody should have expected. Everybody just expected he was going to be Cam Newton, and it's like, no. This is his first start in Power Five, like actual starts, not against a AAA team, not against the fucking guards on longest yard. He's playing against SEC opponents and in Ohio State to start the season off. He was not going to be Peyton Manning, his uncle, right off the bat. It's gonna take time, and as we're getting further into the season, he's starting to look better. So this is the most realistic, like this realistic thought. But people like to say, "Oh, he's a Manning. He's gonna ball out from jump." And it's like, no, he has to grow into it. He's starting to feel more comfortable. He's starting to use his athleticism, and he's starting to get in a sync with his wide receivers. So I think he's just it's this is what I was expecting next year. That's why I said he's coming back, and next year he's going to be a Heisman front runner. Next year, when he comes out in 2027, is whenever he's going to be in the first round. But everyone that thought, oh, he's going to be the number one quarterback taken in 2026 draft, psh,
And they still only have one conference loss, if I'm correct, right? So that puts them above OU at the moment, right?
yeah, their losses are what Florida on
Ohio.
the road and then Ohio State.
Ohio State.
They just beat Vandy. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, the college football playoff is going to put them ahead of OU just because of head to head. But I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see what
I don't-
happens. Their
I don't think
schedule,
they- Honestly, I don't
Makes it
think their
very
schedule's hard the
interesting.
rest of the way either.
it's not,
No.
bro. Georgia,
No.
Georgia, but they
Speaking
get a
of fucking
bye.
Georgia.
Mhm.
God damn.
They
get a
Florida
bye.
shit down their leg.
Yeah, they did. So I
Ah,
mean,
well,
honestly, this is where you can see. Oh, they have A&M too.
Oh, they're gonna lose that game.
So
Marcel Reed
okay.
gonna carve them up like turkey,
What?
baby.
So
When
if
do they
that's
play
the
A&M?
case-
Is it on Thanksgiving weekend?
Probably.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, Marcel Reed gonna have Thanksgiving twice. Let's go.
This is I'll say this right now, and I know as an OU fan, it's burning my soul. But if Arch Manning comes out and he fries Georgia and he fries A&M, Texas is gonna probably be in the college football playoff again.
Well, their defense is fucking legit, bro.
hmm
Their defense is crazy.
And when they're not on the field the whole game, that's what
Yeah.
happens. I think
Yeah.
it's almost like karma. It's almost like karma because when Mateer looked great early in the season, OU fans we were laughing at Arch, saying he's dog shit, all of that, and now at times Mateer looks like he's struggling, and Arch is doing honestly what you want in football. You can start off slow, sluggish, whatever you need to, and down the stretch you want to be playing your best football. And
Lot of time left on the clock. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. It's a tale of two. Well, not
Oh.
even really a tale of two seasons. It's development. It's the proper development from him. I'm not trying to hype him up or anything like that, but I mean, his progression is happening in the correct way throughout the course of the season. Because after the first 4 games of the year, we were looking at Texas like, Man, Texas fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think they were unranked when they played OU.
So with obviously Texas is going to jump Oklahoma. Their one was more impressive than OU's. With 8, 9, 10, 14, and 17 all losing, how many spots do you think Oklahoma jumps up after that win? 3?
They were at 18. Well, it depends because
I get
remember
them
the
15
college.
to 14.
They
Well, the
jump.
col-
I was gonna say they jump Tennessee, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you think they jump Miami?
Yes,
Should.
yeah,
Yeah.
where they're dog shit. The college
jump
football playoff
Cincinnati.
too is going to shake
Yeah.
up a lot of stuff compared to the AP
Yeah.
poll. So OU could go anywhere from like 18 to 14, or they could end up like 18 to like 12, just because
Yeah.
of winning in Tennessee. Um,
So
but
you're essentially if Texas, depending on how far Texas moves up, OU's 2 losses were Red River Robbery into a top 10 Ole Miss
It-
team.
it-
I mean, top
it really-
7 Ole Miss
think
team. It's not bad.
It really depends on how far they put Georgia Tech back because they lost by 12 to an unranked NC State.
yeah, Georgia
Yeah.
Tech is going to fall out, boss. They're not all the way out, but they should fall back behind OU and Texas.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah.
I was thinking they'll probably jump Miami. They'll definitely jump Cincinnati. They'll jump Tennessee.
They may even
And
jump
then-
Notre Dame, honestly. Notre Dame
No.
won
Did they?
definitely, but I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, but you
We'll
know
see.
how I think the
I don't think it matters
I think-
because next week I think they lose to Alabama. So, but
Hey,
I
we'll
was just
see.
curious.
we'll see. If they beat
Well,
Bama, if
That
they
the
beat
crazy.
Bama.
This is the difference between Venables and Riley though, because an offense doesn't travel the same as a defense. Defense travels. Is gonna give you a chance in road games and SEC environments. I don't
Mhm.
I don't know that they have a
It-
chance against Alabama.
They have a chance against anybody because their defense
Yeah.
is so legit. They had chances last year. They were just dog shit.
yeah.
Who's your Heisman front runner? Now that Carson Beck shit down his leg 2 weeks in a row,
Mm.
is it Mendoza from Indiana?
I think
It's
it's got to be Mendoza, Pavia still. I think Pavia's still in there. May whoever's playing quarterback for Texas Tech right now.
Baron Morton. I only know that because he just lit my ass up on NCAA football.
I think him, and then
Trinidad Chambliss.
I put
Dude is
Chambliss,
balling.
and
Yeah.
then I put Simpson in there just because he plays for Bama.
Oh yeah, I forget about. And he's having a good year, man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's having a solid
It started like shit, but
The way Joey Aguilar started the game yesterday, I was about
No
to say
shit,
him,
bro.
and then
cooking.
BV started. I guess all those shifts and whatnot, he started seeing ghosts. But yeah, I don't. It's
how about our Mason Thomas
right.
already engaged in the stiff arm when he scooped the ball, and then stiff arming a guy 30 fucking yards down the field.
That's in
Like, that
is
is
Greg
hilarious.
Jimmings.
and it's
Somebody get-
also game day 97 where
Bro,
you're running down
pull
the
the
field and
hammy,
you pull that
yep.
hammy.
Bro, he pulled his hammy so bad he almost ran out of bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
They had to carry him, bro. It looked like in a WWE match whenever you get the shit kicked out of you and they have to bring the
Yeah.
referees out and they have to carry
Yeah.
you to the back. That's what he looked like going back to the sideline. He was like, "Ah."
I just immediately thought of the Greg Jimmings.
Oh yeah, bro.
I put the
Come on, my bad.
team on my back, dude. But fuck it.
oh shit.
But
Good
Cam,
stuff.
Cam, you
good,
brought
good day of football.
it was definitely you brought up a good topic. And in the spirit of college football or college basketball, sorry, you were asking, would you rather go somewhere with like no winning pedigree essentially and be the man somewhere like Wichita State or somewhere like that? Be the fucking man where everything runs through you. Or would you rather go to like Kansas, Duke, North Carolina and be like a piece?
I'll start this off. So that's exactly what Trey Young did. Trey Young stayed at home, went to a OU basketball team that was not known. They had some moments, right? They had some runs,
Mhm.
Buddy Hield and Blake Griffin, and you could even say the Wayman Tisdales of the '90s, late '80s, early '90s, Mookie Blaylock, people like
Don't
that.
leave out
Price.
Hollis Price, man.
Hollis Price, come on, big
Hollis-
dog.
My fault. But
Come on, man.
at the time that Trey Young went to OU,
They were
it
dog shit.
was perfect for him. because he went in there, balled the fuck out. Did they make the NCAA tournament
Yeah,
that year?
yeah, they lost to
They
Rhode Island,
got
or
bounced
yeah, they lost to Rhode Island, I think.
in first round,
Yeah,
but that just increased his draft stock to make him, you know, top five pick. I think teams like the Kansases and the Dukes of the world, you're getting a lot of those kids on 1 year rentals. You know it, they know it, and with NIL now, it's like they just have to
Let me stop you
carry
real
like,
quick. Yes, but we're not talking about the man at those schools. We're talking
yeah,
about people that just come in and contribute.
yeah.
Usually, the people that just
yeah,
come in and contribute, they're staying 3 to 4 years at that.
Fucking Jeff
yeah,
Withey
Yeah,
at Kansas.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, and I think for me, it depends on if you think you have a future in the NBA or not. The contributors at a great school versus the people that are like very talented and kind of want to make their mark and then get the hell out. If I played for a Duke for 3 years and we went to the NCAA tournament every year, and I stayed for, well, if I played there for four, went to the national championship twice, won it twice, went to the Final Four twice as well. So in my 4 years, I went to four Final Fours and won two national championships. I'll take that. If I knew I wasn't making it to the league, I'd take that.
I uh, I think it just depends on your outlook, like how you view things. Because like, uh, if it were me and I was thinking future, I'm going to a mid major. I'm gonna be the fucking man. I'm gonna develop my brand because even if I'll give you a prime example, Clay Anthony Early. The guy was a fucking stud at Wichita State. And because he was featured in that team at that mid major, he was the man there. His brand in college was crazy. He got drafted first round of the Knicks and he was absolute dog shit in the league. I mean, he did get shot, but he didn't do anything in the league. And so like I think when you go to a mid major, when you're solid but not getting a lot of if Duke came to me and was like, hey, we're gonna offer you a scholarship, but you're gonna have to sit and you're gonna have to work your way into the rotation year two, year three kind of thing. If I had that or Wichita State knocking on the door and being like, "Hey, I want you to come be the guy as a right off the jump freshman," I'm probably going Wichita State because you never know what happens in that time period of being at Duke. Duke's had teams that should have won national championships year in and year out and don't ever fucking do it. So even if you go to that mid or to that blue blood, there's no guarantee you're going to win a natty. But if you go to a mid major and you just do your thing, that's almost a guarantee you're going to the league. Now, whether you make it in the league, that's on you, but at least you get there, which you do that and you live the life of a star in college. Kind of, I don't know, that rings home to me. Plus, the environment, it's like the environment in a mid major program is like small town football. It's all about basketball. So crowds are crazy. The town goes crazy when it's game day. Like that to me is more enticing than going to Kentucky. But I'm different. I
Nah, you are, but you're not. I think when we were growing up, yes, going to a Duke, North Carolina, Kansas,
Yeah,
those schools, that's how you made it to the league because that's where the scouts were going to be. That's where you
yeah,
were going. Even if you were there and you contributed, you were just like Russ was in college, you were still going to get drafted because they had eyes on you and they knew they could develop you. Because of social media, because of technology, you can go play at the backyard school, doesn't
Ferris
matter.
State, baby.
Yeah, and just cook and they'll come find you. They'll come find you.
John Morant, for
Yep.
instance, went to
That's
Murray
Yeah,
State.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's players that are kind of like a dime a dozen, but they go to those places to become. They know that they're going to be the man, and if they're there for a year and they're draft, I mean, because you got people telling you, like, "Hey, man, you're fucking balling. Like, draft
yeah,
stock is
Well,
up."
it also it takes a peek into there's different types of players, right? I think we all understand that. You do have your guys like all-time greats. And this is not me taking shots at them, but you have all-time greats like LeBron and Kevin Durant. where their thought process is I want to win championships. And to win that championship, I want to play with the best team to make it
Mm-hmm.
easier to win a championship, right? Their goal
Mm-hmm.
is to win a championship. You also have other people like your Michaels, like your Kobe's, like your Russes, like those guys who say, I want to win a championship, but I want to win a championship because I'm frying you. Not because
Yeah.
I put a team together, because I want to beat you. I want to prove to everybody that I'm the best. And me going and joining up with you isn't proving that I'm the best because I'm not beating you. I'm teaming up with you. So that like my mindset would be I'm going somewhere that's smaller to try to fry. It's gonna like boost my draft stock up, but I still want to try to win a national championship. Now, if that happens, cool. If it doesn't, it happens. You know what I'm saying? I just know it puts you in a better spot in the NBA now. If we were in the early 2000s, I would be like, nah, bro, send me to Kansas. I'll go be the third scorer in Kansas, not hit some knockdown shots. That's it, and they'll be, oh, this guy he plays in a good system, and he that game is going to
Yeah.
transfer. Now it's
And
like,
it really depends on also your scouting department. Kyrie Irving played like 11 games at Duke.
yeah,
Joel Embiid played like a half of a season, and this is in the I
Michael
mean,
Porter
the
Jr.
2010s. This is in the 2010s. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that the shift has happened. A lot of kids that are extremely talented don't go to big programs anymore.
Yeah.
there's no
Kids that
reason
I
to.
kind of know, like out of high school, like, man, I'm just
Well,
gonna
there's no
fucking
reason
chill
to
for a
though.
year.
There's no because again, back
Yeah,
when we grew up, you had to get notoriety. They
yeah.
don't have to now. You can
Do you
do
think it takes the competitive aspect out of college basketball a little bit more?
of
As
what
far as like,
them not going to the bigger schools.
well, no, just like competing to win a national championship. Like it's not as
No, because
important
I think
anymore.
it's been that way since forever. I think there's always been kids that didn't give a shit about college basketball. They were just going there because they had to. KD.
Yeah,
I think KD didn't. He obviously they were competing, but he didn't give a fuck. He was like he was there because he had to. You think he went from Washington D.C. to Texas because he was like, I want to win a national championship? No, he was just like, it's a good program. They're going to give me the ability to go to the league. That's why I'm there. So I think it's always it's like when people think of, oh, I hate the NBA now because these players are crybabies and they complain so they can try to get their coaches fired. And I remember motherfuckers don't remember that Magic Johnson did that shit in '80. I ain't coming to play
Yeah.
for this motherfucker. No, his shit's
yeah.
been around. It's just
Yeah.
we're living in it now.
The last thing that I'll kind of bring up is with the namesake of some of these kids that have a lot of hype around them, and they go to a small school and they ball out, and then some of them get to the league and they kind of wash out. Wherein lies the like the lack of development? I mean, because they're dominating at one level, and then they get to the, and I know the league is the league, obviously. So like, you're playing the best of the best night in and night out. But is that us as people, as fans, giving them too much credit? Because you never see a bad tape from a kid that's really hyped up. You only see a good tape. So where does the hype not match the skill and the development to translate into the next
I,
uh,
I
level?
I always wonder if it's not so much the skill and the hype of the player, but just kind of where they
Yeah.
go. Like,
Like personally,
yeah, like for a while, Phoenix was a fucking dumpster fire. And if you were a guard and went to Phoenix, your career was pretty much
Yep.
fried. I
Yep.
mean, it's the same thing with the Kings and Charlotte. I mean, outside of LaMelo Ball, you know,
He's all flash, no hype.
who has gone to
yeah.
Charlotte and done anything substantial? I'll wait.
Kibba,
Like
Kibba,
Kimba took him to the playoffs once, and then went to Boston, and he was out of the league in like 2 years.
Yeah, I was about to say, even then, that was like what
I mean,
13 years ago.
he was good, but he didn't. I mean, he didn't take Charlotte anywhere. Anyways, uh, but I don't know because like you look at a person like J Dub. J Dub fortunately came to Oklahoma City where he could play second fiddle, and actually his rookie year he could start third fiddle to Josh Giddey and Shea, and so he could find his comfort and develop, and then eventually took over that second role, that number two option. Like I think it just depends on my opinion. where you go, unless you're some kind of fucking ridiculous demigod of a basketball player like Wembanyama,
Yeah,
who doesn't fucking matter
generational.
where you go, bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
like unless you're like that,
bronze and
like
stuff like that. Yeah, that
yeah,
that translates everywhere. But you're seeing it in the NFL too, where you have all these quarterbacks that people are saying are washed. And it's like, no, 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 that kid is talented. He just went
Indiana
somewhere
Jones.
that that didn't
Yeah.
know how to develop. I think a lot of these kids coming out of like college basketball, they have the talent, but then they go to an organization and the organization is ran poorly. You have vets who are shit and it's a bad culture, and then you're asking them to do something that they're not capable of. It's
Mhm.
you can't compare everybody to what Michael did for the Bulls and what LeBron did for the Cavs because not everybody is truly that talented. Whenever the expectation is to be that talented, it's kind of a letdown. I think us as fans, we do put way too much pressure on the kids than we should because, again,
Saying
at the end of
it's
the day, it's just it, where you go, who trains you, who develops you, who puts, if they have something that's already in place that can help your development, you'll be better. If they don't, and you go somewhere that's horrible, it's just you're gonna be shit.
It's like when Ace Bailey got drafted by the Jazz, and his former agent or manager was like, he didn't want to go. Like, he was just kind of like talking shit about it, and then they fired him.
You got to think if you get put in a bad situation anytime in life, your thought process is like I just need to get through this. That's the
Yeah.
exact same thing that they're doing. They're getting drafted places and they're like, man, fuck
ah,
these dudes ain't fit. They don't got nobody. They don't even have a shooting coach or a strength and conditioning coach. Like this is literally all
Yeah.
on us. And then if we come out and suck, the entire media, ESPN, Fox Sports, everybody on
Poo pooing
podcasts,
on
they're
him.
going to be poo pooing on me. They're not poo pooing on the organization. It's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Isaiah, y'all gonna fire Mike
See.
McDaniel at the end of the season because y'all got y'all's GM the fuck out of there.
I mean, he's been with the team since 2000, and then I look at the team since 2000, right? He's been a part of the organization. He wasn't the GM. He became the GM in 2016, 2017.
Six seven.
So 16 something, 6 ish. But I, I mean, I look at the organization as a whole since 2000. We've made the playoffs 3 times.
mm, mm,
We've been bounced out of the first round every time.
mm.
Haven't made a conference championship since like 1993.
Oof.
And since he's been a GM, you look at the talent that the team has drafted, and we've let it all walk.
And he
The
paid
the
Tua.
big and he paid to a ridiculous amount of money. And I, man, it. And every year, and we talk about it all the time because I'm a fan of the fucking team, and I gotta sit there and keep trying to. I'm not even defending them at this point. I'm just like, I don't understand what they're doing. Instead of drafting O linemen this year, when Teron Armstead retired, and then you let Robert Hunt walk and go to Carolina, you're like, no, let's get this D tackle. Let's get another corner. Let's get another fucking fast receiver. You're setting yourself up for failure. Whenever he wasn't the GM, we had we had talented people around the team as far as like developing players. I mean, Tannehill was never going to be that great, but we had Juice Landry. We had Gasecki. We had, even though it was Jay Ajayi, we had Lamar Miller. Like, we had good pieces, and the defense was getting better. In 2019, we drafted, or 2018, we drafted Minka, traded him away, then traded him, traded him back. I feel bad for him as far as his career trajectory goes because he's a Pro Bowl caliber safety, and he comes to our team, and we have no secondary outside of him. And a lot of the times, what does Minka have to do? He has to come up and make a tackle to save a touchdown because they really don't throw his way. They just absolutely abuse the corners. So um, I look at our defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver, who came from Baltimore, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we don't have any good linebacking core. And especially after what happened The miscues, man. We cannot have that many miscues in a game. It was competitive until it wasn't. And I say that from the sense of you got a guy lining up offsides, driving back 5 yards. You got a guy that's, false starts, puts us in a position to where we have to kick a field goal. For the most part, they did a good job of protecting Tua, but then what happens? We play good coverage for 2.5, 3 seconds, and in the last 2 seconds, when Lamar is being Lamar, you leave guys wide open. Isaiah likely had like 3 catches for like 70 yards. How does that happen? You give up on coverage. You start watching the quarterback instead of playing your gaps, especially in the secondary, and dudes get wide open and put him in a better position. This man had 4 touchdowns. He hasn't played in a month. Mark Andrews, 2 catches, 22 yards, 2 touchdowns. Didn't see another target. I mean, it's just, I'm tired of talking about this team, man. I don't think he gets fired.
No, he's definitely
I
going to get
just
fired at the end of the year.
I just have a question. Do you think the basis of Miami's problems are A, GM, B, head coach, or C, player personnel? Like
Player personnel.
The root of
Player
the problem.
personnel. Player
D,
personnel.
all of the above.
I only say that because, like, if you think it's because you don't have the player personnel, then to me that's on the GM and his ability to bring people in, draft people well.
Yeah.
If you think it's an X's and O's thing, like this a scheme or like a player development, then that's on coaching.
don't.
But if you just think if you think you have good pieces and they just aren't performing, or they're making like boneheaded plays.
You invest money in the wrong things. I'll say that. So you let Javon Holland go, who was a Pro Bowl safety. Yes, Jalen Ramsey is at the tail end of his career. You put together a pack.
Right now.
Well, I mean, he's still he's a great tackler as far as from the corner position. I think his emotions still get the best of him at times, but the trade-off to me was not quite a wash. I think Pittsburgh won the trade because you also give up Jonnu Smith, who was a Pro Bowler last year. So
yeah, because he
that's
caught
two
a bunch
Pro
of
Bowlers.
checkdowns.
Yeah, I mean, but if that helps as far as move the ball down the field, if that helps like putting the offense in a better position, I'll take it. Because right now, everybody knows that if Tua doesn't have his first read open, what do? They have the safety net of Achane, and what do? The moment that they take away the middle of the field, Achane slips out, and that linebacker on any team that they play screams straight up the field, straight at Achane every single time.
Well, that's
I think
also why I mentioned it's all of the above, because yes, your GM is letting go of people that he shouldn't let go of. The head
I think
coach
that's
is
what
also
started it.
Yes, but the head coach also is not putting a system in play that's winning games. Are you getting a bunch of yards? Yes, but you're not winning games. That's the most important thing. Are you winning games? No. With Jonnu Smith last year, he was a Pro Bowler. Were you winning games? No. You have Tua, who has a bunch of money. Is he or should he not be paid what he got paid? He shouldn't have. That's GM coaching. No semblance of a defense. You're bringing in guys, but he doesn't really coach defense. He's an offensive minded head coach, so that's always going to take a step back. But even with what you're saying is like we have guys. Every team has guys. They're in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the miscues of the personnel. That's
which
what
would
I meant
fall
by
on which would fall on head coach. Because if you have the guys that are consistently making the same mistakes, but they're consistently on the field, that's on the coach.
Well, you handcuffed yourself. You handcuffed yourself by paying Tyreek what you paid Tyreek, but
that's GM.
You almost you almost had to do that to keep him. Tua, I think you definitely could have dropped those M's down, probably 15 to 20.
The Tua situation, I think that's a mix between GM and head coach because McDaniel wanted him. That's his guy. So I think that's GM and head coach. And that decision alone, I think, is where they are right now. Because realistically, you guys could suck and get a solid quarterback next year, and you still have Tua on that big contract. No, you'll be what Atlanta is right now, where you have a highly paid backup quarterback, but then you also have a young guy. You can use Tua next year at the beginning of the season to slowly bring along a guy and then have him take over the reins. But I do think
We
that
have
them
that guy
firing,
already.
Who
His
who
name's
is
Quinn
the
Ewers.
yes,
who is the heart and soul of Miami? Like who fires
Dan
that team
Marino.
up?
And
That
well,
like
see, and that's what's crazy is
it can't
we
be too.
don't
Yeah,
have
that's
anyone.
another thing that I was thinking about. Like, and I feel like we live in a day and age where there's got to be somebody that brings some fucking fire. And like listening to Tua, like if that's your leader and all he does is point the finger, there's no self accountability ever. Like that's a problem.
But that's
Not
that's
only
been
that,
that's been them for a while because he does
yeah,
it. Tyreek does it. When Ramsey was there last year, he was doing it. Mike
yeah.
Yeah, like
McDaniel does it, and it's like, bro,
Yeah.
somebody at this point has to be like, we
And
as a unit suck.
yeah,
and
we got to get
also
better.
we signed Calais Campbell, who is a vet who has a lot of his voice carries a lot of weight in the locker room wherever he goes. We let him walk. You know, we the type of competitive veteran leadership that we could have used, we don't have any of it. Like none. The closest thing we have right now is Minka, and they don't even interview Minka.
Mika doesn't want to be there. Like you have a bunch of guys that don't even want to be there. That's the when well, like 2 years ago, you guys should have started over. When you guys had that high scoring offense, you got to the playoffs and got your shit pushed in. Y'all should have hit the reset button and started. But McDaniel was like, "No, I believe in us." Then was it last year? Tua was,
Yeah.
and
Well,
y'all should have.
we won. I think we won I think we started out 1-6 last year, and then we won 8 of our last 9. So it's like, okay, we're building on something. Like we have an opportunity, but we also shot ourselves in the foot. How did we shoot ourselves in the foot? What was going on? Oh, they realized the same thing that I've been saying for 4 fucking years. If you take away the middle of the field from Tua Tagovailoa, he does not know what to do with the football. Mike McDaniel,
Football.
I feel like there's so much pressure on him because he calls the offense and he has to do so many motions and things to set his quarterback up for success that when he gets injured, he doesn't know how to like make play calls. You can
And I,
tell he's like, "Fuck, man,
yes,
I don't."
I agree, but I do look at McDaniel's offense and I say that's what Kyle Shanahan does. He's from that
Yeah,
tree. That's the
yeah,
exact. Kyle doesn't just drop back and throw the ball down the field. He does a lot of
no,
the same stuff that Shanahan does, and the difference is Shanahan has the guys that actually work. Shanahan can make anybody look great. You have to think about it. Shanahan was the OC when Matt Ryan won his only MVP. He got Brock Purdy paid. He took Jimmy G to a Super Bowl.
Mac
He
Jones is
Brock
balling right now.
Right. That's Kyle Shanahan. On the other side, you have Mike McDaniel, who has that same offense, but I don't think he's grasped football the same way that Kyle did. And at this point, like I said, if Miami is stuck in the mud, just it's time to reset, baby. It's time to. I think it's you guys got rid of the GM. I don't think that firing head coaches all the time is a good thing, but I don't. I do you see Mike McDaniel's able to build a culture in Miami?
Not with Tua
Get him the
Tagovailoa
fuck out of there.
as quarterback.
Well,
No,
even if do you think that if you give another guy 3 years, do you think Mike McDaniel will turn it around? Not could he? Do you think he will? If you had to bet right now, what's in your bank account? Would Mike McDaniel's turn this shit around if he can get a quarterback next year's draft? Would you do it?
I'm not
Get him
gonna.
the fuck out of there.
No. Hold on,
Get
hold
him
on. I'm
the
trying
fuck
to.
out of there.
I'm trying to phrase this correctly because if we knew who it was, then I think it would look different. I don't know
That's
who
the
that quarterback could be.
but from that system, the Shanahan tree system, it does not matter who the
You should
quarterback
be
is.
successful. Yeah.
That's what if he's that, get him the fuck out. I'm not
Yeah.
saying
Tua.
that
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
no, I'm saying both of them. Send them to Arizona. You guys will have Kyler Murray starting next year.
I have a question regarding the NFL. Just out of curiosity. I was thinking about this the other day. When do y'all think it's time for the NFL to restructure, realign its divisions? Like, why is Miami in a division that includes everybody from the way northeast and not in the same division as Jacksonville?
Because the Texans,
Oh, are
Yeah,
you
but
talking
you could
about? I
take
saw
but
like a
you could take
map thing
Indy,
where
yeah,
they.
you could take Indy or Tennessee out of the South and put Miami in the South and put one of them in the Northeast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
why not
yeah.
put? I mean, I don't know which one. I think Indianapolis is more north than Tennessee, isn't it?
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay, so why not take Indianapolis out, put them in the north in the AFC East, and drop Miami to the south with Tennessee and Houston and Jacksonville? Like, I always wonder about that. It's kind of like Dallas and NFC East. Why?
Well,
Yeah,
I think
I
it.
think it's just rivalries at this point
Well, not only
for the NFC
rivalries, but
East.
at the time that some of these divisions were created, the other teams didn't exist yet, right? Like you look at like the Colts, for instance. The Colts moved out of Baltimore and then they developed it into a new team. The Texans are the newest team, so they had to put them in some division.
Well, I know
And
that's when the
then
Texans
the
came in.
Jags
That's
are a
when
newer
they
team.
created the South because before the
Yeah.
Texans were a team,
The
the Jags were in
AFC
the same
Central,
division. Yeah,
baby.
that's right with
Yeah.
the
AFC Central.
Steelers.
That was a
That's
good. That
right.
was a good ass division because
Yeah.
it was what, 5 or 6 teams. So it was like the
Yeah,
Steelers, the Jags, the Titans.
Browns,
Right? Yeah,
Bengals.
there it was
Yeah.
a good ass
Yep.
division. But
And it's like, the NFC West, right? The Rams were still when they were in St. Louis were still in the NFC West. But that's like Midwest.
I
But
don't.
that's why I
Some of
want.
the
That's why I asked that. Is why like, do y'all
I
think
think it's timing.
Should
Why
they?
they did that.
do you think they will unless do you think there's a chance they will without inducing new teams, or do you
No,
think
I
it
think
won't happen until they bring
until
in
yes,
another
I
organization?
think
Yeah.
once they bring in more teams,
They would have to
which will
bring in two
probably
more
happen.
teams.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
or four
Okay.
probably.
Yeah.
I think if once they start bringing in more teams, then I think they'll realign. But even then, it's going to be something that doesn't make sense because I don't think they're going to want to separate the rivalry. For instance, like the NFC East with Dallas,
And
Washington,
Philly.
the Giants,
Yeah.
and Philly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
They're
that one doesn't make sense either.
yeah, it
That's what I'm
doesn't.
saying.
Yeah,
Like, because you could take Carolina and put them in the East
yeah,
and drop Dallas in the NFC South, but then, like Marlon said, that takes away Dallas and Philly.
yeah.
Like,
And honestly, it's because we're broke and the NFL is not, and so they're like gasp.
yeah, yeah, we don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
Plane tickets.
But yeah, who
We fly
if you
private.
guys if you guys had to vote right now for MVP in the NFL, who would you vote?
Give me Daniel Jones, please. No,
You'll see today, huh, motherfucker? Yeah,
I'm not gonna
Bullard.
lie. He's probably in the top 10 in MVP right
Probably,
now,
yeah.
but I think Jonathan Taylor is
See,
the clear cut number one. I think it's clear cut that Jonathan Taylor's one. You can, and what sucks
That's
right
crazy.
now is
Even
it's
though
such a
Bijan's the best running back in the league, huh?
he is
Yeah.
he is, but with the league being so quarterback driven, right? The top tier guys right now, I mean they're kind of doing what they normally do. It's not really impressive. Like yeah, Lamar came back threw 4 touchdowns against a shit defense, but I think like wide receiver and running back right now are really making like what JSN is doing right now. He doesn't have a lot of touchdowns, but like I think clear cut is Jonathan Taylor. But can we please start looking at receiver and running back more, especially with
No.
even if you disregard Jonathan Taylor, you kind of have to look at Bijan and CMC.
No.
I hate that though because
That
I think they deserve it. It's deserving at this point in the season. It's deserving.
I agree, but you know what time it is. You remember, was it 2 weeks ago when we were talking about parity or dynasty, and you said dynasties it's the money. That's what quarterback position is. What
Yeah,
puts the
it's
asses in
money.
the seats is the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because we come from an era where the running back position was that.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
running back position was what put asses in the seats.
Emmett Smith, Marshall Faulk,
Yeah,
like, all of them,
and
yeah.
Daniel
Barry.
Tomlinson. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what used to put asses in the seats. Now it's not that, and we're grasping for we want that. We want running backs whenever they have their just due, like a JT season this year, Saquon the year before, Cooper Cup whenever he was a Triple Crown winner. We want that, but let's be realistic, dog. But I mean,
Yeah.
if your vote right now is for JT, I'm not gonna argue that.
See, I'm I'm kind of like Isaiah. Like when you're watching the games, JT is by far the biggest difference maker in the NFL right now for Indianapolis. Just what he's able to do and how it opens up Daniel Jones.
Pause.
Like,
Pause.
yeah, well, big pause. Yeah. I'm starting to feel
Let's
like this
go.
is a weekly thing with me, man. I just don't be thinking before I just throw stuff out there.
Hey man,
Anyways,
I have to give myself a
but
moment before I say something. I'm like,
yeah, but you know, I have a hard time because I don't think that Indiana Jones should be like in the MVP discussion. Like most improved, absolutely,
yes,
but he's not
I'll
that
give him that.
offense. He is not
correct.
the offense in Indianapolis. Um, if I had a vote, I would have a hard time picking between Matt Stafford, Puka Nakua, which Puka's hurt now, so I'll nix him because he's hurt. Um, Matt Stafford would be up there. Pat Mahomes would be up there right now, and I'm still like, dude, give me Baker, man. I know he had a rough week last week, but what he's done to put Tampa where they're at. I mean, everybody's gonna have. I mean, Pat Mahomes had a bad couple of weeks at the beginning of the season, so
Hey, don't talk about my bad season.
yeah.
My name's
I
Patrick
can
Mahomes.
see, I can honestly see Drake May and Bo
Yep.
Nix getting.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
say
Yeah.
those were going to be my two is Drake because it's. I think
They're
sometimes
6-2 right now.
me personally, I think I get into who I think is the most valuable player based on who I think is going to dominate in the playoffs. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't want to put Bo or Drake or someone like that because I think they could, like Indiana Jones, I think they could fall off in the playoffs.
Yeah.
However, when you look at what they're doing currently, it's like, so Drake May, regardless, I think he's balling. He's today will be a solid test because he does get Atlanta. I don't know if Michael Penix is playing. If it's Kirk Cousins, he'll probably throw for 5,000 yards because Atlanta's defense will get tired. But Bo Nix he's been frying. Patrick Mahomes is a good name. Baker, JT is a good name. It's just if I had to pick one right now, it's for me. If I had to pick who I think is going to win, I think it's going to be Mahomes. I think him right now, he was quiet. I think even if you look at his interceptions, like a lot of them aren't even his fault.
Yeah.
Kelsey can't catch the fucking ball, but he's quietly cooking.
Lead the
And
league in passing yards.
He got
Yeah.
Crashy Rice back. Kelsey's making big plays again. Worthy's just outrunning people. Hollywood, like that offense now, after getting Rashee Rice back, who can run routes, get open when they need to. They don't have to rely on Kelsey like they used to. You still have Noah Gray, Xavier Worthy, and Hollywood Brown. I think I'm going to lift my next MVP up above my head at the end of the season,
Bro,
guys.
that's my thing is like as bad as I want to say I'd pick JT. If Saquon Barkley couldn't get the MVP last year, the only reason he didn't break the single season yardage record was because he
'Cause he
told the
sat.
coach, "I don't want to go in
Yeah,
the
I'm
second half.
cool, bro.
Let the youngins cook." Yeah,
I
let
want
them
the
eat.
Super Bowl, fam.
Yeah. So if he couldn't win in that circumstance, the MVP because he's not a quarterback, then no non-quarterback player is ever going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
which I think is stupid.
As
Like,
hell.
yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's just dumb.
I
It
don't.
goes to the most important player on a good team. And last year that was Saquon.
Well, it's
This
now
year it's
just
Jonathan Taylor.
I think
It's a quarterback award.
Well, I think we can all agree, and I think they should do this in college football too. Maybe split up some awards. Maybe make the awards different and give a best quarterback award. That way
Well,
you
they
have.
do though. Like
Well,
they do
well,
in
Well, that's an
college.
offensive player.
Yeah.
they do.
Well, and they
offensive
get
player.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Well, and then
you're right.
like in college, they
you
give
do,
a
yeah.
Maxwell
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
Jim
that's true.
Thorpe
I
or
think,
whatever.
yeah, I think they need to do that in the NFL too. That way, they don't feel so bad about just throwing quarterbacks in there, and they look at it as who is leaving the biggest impact. Because in my opinion, last year the MVP was Saquon. I don't
Yeah.
care. Honestly, who the fuck? Josh Allen.
But
Cool.
that's
Saquon
that's
is
like my
in the
that's
league.
like my biggest like I don't have as much a problem with the NFL as I do with college because you have all of those awards for every different position group.
Yeah.
Then let the fucking Heisman be the best player, like the most impactful player to a good team.
Yes.
Like let it be what it's supposed to be. Stop making it a quarterback award. Like that, I was so happy when Devontae Smith won it the one year because I was like,
Yeah.
That's fucking great. That's what the Heisman
When Travis
should be.
Hunter won it, I was happy.
Yes.
When guys like Derrick Henry won it, I was happy. But
Like,
it's just so stupid. And I get it. I get it. I think there are quarterbacks that deserve it. Like I think Baker deserved it. I
Yeah.
think Kyler deserved it.
Kyler.
I think even when Tebow won it, Cam Newton deserved it.
Yeah.
I think there
Like
are
those
quarterbacks
guys-
that deserved it. I think there's quarterbacks that deserve the MVP awards when they win them. But
yeah,
I
not every
do
fucking
not.
year.
Yeah, I don't think that even Lamar and Josh Allen last year, I don't think they deserved that MVP over Saquon.
Over
I don't think.
Saquon,
Was
bro.
it Aaron? Was it Rodgers that won it the year that Cooper Cup won a triple
Yeah,
crown?
he won it
Yeah.
back to back.
Yeah, I don't think that he deserved it, but it's just so shit that the voters are just voting for a quarterback. So that's I think we need to introduce
a
the
best
best quarterback award, and you can name it the Tom Brady
Tom
or
Brady,
the Peyton,
yep.
yeah, just something like that, and then just give them that award.
Well,
Or
and
you
then
can
if they
you can name
split
it the
it the
Roger
same way,
Staubach, baby.
the same way that they split up defensive and offensive player of the year, do best quarterback in each conference, and then give an actual overall MVP because Saquon won offensive player of the year, but he should have won MVP. Then if you split the quarterback awards, okay, that goes to
No, I
you
don't even
probably
want
have a
two.
toss up.
I just want one. I want
One?
one, so there's not. I want it to be. This is the best quarterback in the
In
league.
football. Yeah.
This year.
This is the most valuable player. Valuable. I get Skip Bayless started this shit where he's like, this play starts and it starts with the quarterback. The quarterback. Like, I get that. But you can't tell me that the Super Bowl winning team last year, even though Jalen Hurts fried in the Super Bowl in the regular season, that it did not
Middle of the
start
pack.
with Jalen Hurts. It started with Saquon Barkley. So that's just
Yeah.
they need to get away from that.
My
shit.
thing is
Not only that,
does
CMC
a
got
different-
robbed one year too.
Yeah.
if you put yes, the play starts with the quarterback. That Philadelphia offense with Saquon Barkley, that play could have started with any fucking quarterback in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how valuable Saquon was last year. Like
Jalen only needed to exist in the 2 seconds between the snap and him giving Saquon the ball.
And the tush push, and then the Super
And
Bowl,
the
him
tush
playing
push,
balling and balling
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl was dope.
and that's not a knock on
Well,
Jalen,
Jalen-
but
yeah, I think he
No,
was
not at
capable.
all.
I just think he didn't
Yeah.
have to.
exactly.
Well, also
because
the
of
amount
impact
of
that-
times that Saquon touched the ball.
Well,
Yeah.
He
This is-
carried the ball over 300 times
this
last year.
this is in my thought process on this topic with this. For a receiver, a defender, a running back to even be mentioned, they have to be historic. For quarterbacks, they're not. If you're a quarterback to win MVP, throw for 6,000 yards. Throw for 65 touchdowns. Do something like Tom Brady did, Peyton did that one year. Be
Yeah.
historic and then win the MVP. But if you're just, their passer rating, their completion, I don't care.
Dak
Make
finished
it,
second with 36 touchdowns one year.
Who?
Dak
Dak.
finished second
Yeah, that's
with
what I'm-
36 touchdowns.
That's a good season. But we added a game, and you have to also add that into it. It's not historically great. So I think at the very least, you have to start making them be historic. When Mahomes threw for 5,050 TDs, cool, you deserve it.
Yeah. Cool.
But like Rodgers won it one year throwing for like 38 touchdowns and like 4 interceptions, and they were like, "Oh, that touchdown to interception ratio, cool." But Saquon, bro, he could have broke the all-time rushing record. He's in that conversation. CMC,
he didn't even play the
all-purpose
last
yards.
game. He
Right.
did that in 16.
JT right now is on pace to score like 26 touchdowns this year. That's fucking crazy. Cooper Kupp, Calvin Johnson one year with, you know what I'm saying, like setting the
1,900 receiving yards.
that should be the most valuable.
Who was
player.
it? Was it Priest Holmes scored like 30 touchdowns
Yes.
one year for the Chiefs?
Priest- yes.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
That
Or
should be
LT.
when you have people that are being historic. I don't give a shit if the quarterbacks are being good and great. That historic.
Anytime you
is
run
over
for
that.
2K, that's an MVP.
It should
in
be.
my opinion.
It should be.
In my opinion.
I agree. I
That
agree.
that's one of the hardest things to do in football because anytime you run the ball, you're behind the line of scrimmage to start. So now you gotta make up those yards. Then you gotta break the line of scrimmage.
Who
Then you gotta make
who
it to the second level.
Adrian Peterson.
who won at the who won it the year that JJ Watt was going crazy? Like he was
I
fucking
would I
Houston.
would guess it was either Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning or Tom Brady.
I just
Yeah,
can't remember what year that was. I know it was early 2010s.
Yeah,
Peyton won 4 MVPs. Rodgers won 4 MVPs. I think Tom only won what? Did he win 2?
two or
Was
three.
it
I
only
can't remember.
2 or 3?
Two probably.
The
I know he
last
won
Drew
non
Brees.
MVP,
One.
the last non-quarterback MVP was Adrian
Adrian
Peterson
Peterson.
in
Yeah.
2012.
In
2012.
2012, bro.
Yeah.
And before him was LaDainian Tomlinson and Sean Alexander.
Yep.
Those are the only non-quarterback winners since 2000.
Yeah.
That is
That's
fucking stupid.
crazy.
With all of the great players in different positions and great years, like that's insane to me.
Yes.
Well, I
It's-
think we're
it's
getting
crazy.
to a point that if us as fans don't talk about it, it gets lost. Those historic seasons from non-quarterbacks get lost.
You
We
know?
have to talk about it to remember them. We have to make sure that we're like how impressive it was. I think at one point, Derrick Henry in Tennessee, he was that team.
Yeah. He was 100%.
Never won MVP.
Yeah, he could have, but
Never
yeah.
won MVP.
Yeah.
But it's
That's-
I mean it's kind of the same what you're saying is kind of the same thing that's going on in the NBA. Like if the fans don't go up and fucking and outrage about Nikola Jokic winning MVP every year, which should happen because he's by far the most dominant player in the NBA.
Mhm.
You know, SGA don't win the MVP.
yeah.
Joel Embiid does not win the MVP.
Yeah. Which
Because
Joel,
Nikola
I ain't gonna
Jokic-
lie. I ain't gonna lie. Joel, fuck all that one. The SGA one, I think SGA should have won. The
Well, yeah.
Joel Embiid
Should
one,
have. But when you
Fuck
when
that.
you look at stats, when you compare stats, nobody should be taking the throne from Jokic just because he dominates every fucking game. But SGA, because the fans had outraged the year that SGA finished second to Jokic, even Shaq coming out on the crew like and saying it should have been SGA. Like that shit matters, and that's a big reason why SGA got the damn MVP this last year.
well, and
Was
to,
because people were talking about how important, how much like more impactful he was to the Thunder than
that's
Jokic.
That's what I was going to say. And to take it back to my earlier point is I think it's prize picks and fantasy sports is frying people's brains because the first thing they look at is stats when comparing players and they're not letting the eye test do
Watching
it.
the game.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that like watching, if you watch SGA versus Jokic, SGA was more impactful. Jokic is Jokic, and he affects the game in so many different ways, and I get that. But when you watch the games, it's like it's the analytical monster. He is an analytical monster. Don't care.
Yeah.
I want to see a monster. If analytics were around in the 90s, they would have shit on Jordan, they would have shit on Shaq, they would have
Yeah.
shit on Kobe, they would have shit on a bunch of people
Yeah.
for someone who was averaging 19, 8, and 8. They'd have been like, this is so it is what
Yeah.
it is. But speaking of the NBA, last topic before we hop, what do y'all think is the best era of NBA of all time?
I'll start.
60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s,
Give me-
10s, 20s.
I'll start. Early 2000s. 2000, 2010. I think that was the era that, you know, the fashion started coming in, or swagger, if you will, started being introduced into basketball. That was the era that you had Iverson in his prime, Kobe in his prime, LeBron was introduced, KD was introduced, Jordan exited the league. But you also had some of the most beautiful basketball in history with the Spurs. You had the Suns introducing a different era of basketball with the run and gun. What was
Pick and
it 10
roll.
seconds or less or 5
Yeah.
seconds or less?
Yeah. That
Like,
D'Antoni.
You know, you had all these different versions of basketball being played at the same time, and you still were playing, in my opinion, real basketball. Like there was physicality, there was drama, there were rivalries.
That hood D.
Bro, you had the ISO Kings with Kobe, Carmelo. You know, KD came in and that was his style at the beginning of his career. Um, you know, Iverson was a big ISO guy. So you had those styles, and then you had the styles like the Suns, or the Kings that like to spread the ball and bang threes and run a quick pace offense. Then you had the Spurs that moved it like crazy. Like, I feel like there was a lot of magical moments in that era with like, the Rip City, Brandon Roy time. You had um, the Boston Big Three coming together. That was, to me, that was a magical moment just to see KG and Ray get a ring. Um, and
Man,
it didn't
fuck you.
last long. It didn't last long.
Well, that's
you
because
know,
we know why it
Kobe,
didn't last.
you had the Kobe 81 point game.
Yeah.
You had um, you had Kobe carrying a team of essentially nobodies to two rings. I mean, Powell. He had Powell back then. He had Powell, but
Meta.
get out of here. I don't. I like.
Yao was in that era, so you
Yeah,
had that
bro.
difference.
You still
Dirk
had
was
the
still
I think
there.
Diesel,
Timmy.
From a defensive side too, look at the Pistons.
That's well,
bro.
Who is the mega star averaging 28 points per game on that team? Nobody.
well, and even
Exactly.
then, you had great defenders. You had like that was where
Yes.
Tony Allen
Specialists.
jumped
Yeah.
on. Pause, and then you had Bruce Bowen on his way. Like there were actually defenders. You had the point. Was it the point four? The
Yeah.
point four. Yes, Derek Fisher moment.
Mm-hmm.
Ginobili in the league.
T-Mac.
Tony Parker, T Mac. Grant Hill came back from his
Bro,
injuries.
Vince
Vince
Sanity was in
Carter.
his prime.
Yeah, like that. It was a lot of
When Melo and AI teamed up and they couldn't get to the finals just because the West in
Was so
basketball at
fucking
that
stacked.
time and they couldn't get past
Bro.
and
the
the
absolute
Spurs.
You had-
wars. Yeah, the wars that happened in the Western Conference alone in the 2000s.
Well, even then,
Bro.
you had Bron's moment in the Eastern Conference Finals against that
Yeah.
Pistons team that put him
Yeah.
on the
25 straight or
radar.
whatever.
Yeah, that
Like,
how dare
the
Carlos
last-
Boozer scored
the-
2 points in that.
Yeah, and you had no name. You had teams that like that. That was another thing I was gonna say. You had teams that probably in a lot of other eras make crazy runs, like the fucking Jazz.
Yeah,
The Jazz had a squad and like were buried every year in the first round or the second round. The Suns, like those teams, the Suns in today's basketball,
they're
probably
frying.
pretty.
Yeah,
Bro.
they're frying.
But
You
then
mean
you
to
had
tell
like
me that? Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to
Now-
say the Suns are the biggest anomaly of the 2000s basketball in the sense of that they never could get over the hump and make the finals with the teams that they had and the talent that they had. And even though the MVPs that Nash won were kind of like meh, bro, regular season and first two rounds of the playoffs. It's I think Amari Stoudemire at one point was averaging like 40 in a playoff series with those Suns teams.
yeah.
Just the brand of basketball was so different. Then right now, I mean, the only defensive specialist that we really talk about and highlight a whole lot at this moment is pretty much Lou Dort from a guard position. Back then, you had several people. That's all they were paid to do was just guard the best player. That's it. We got Caruso, Dort now, but back then it was name after name after name.
Every team had to have one because you needed somebody to stop the other team's
D-Wade,
best players.
Kobe,
Yeah, you had to. Yeah.
Well, and I feel like the structure of teams was a lot different. But like right now, you have a bunch of interchangeable guys. Guys, you want to draft guys that can play three different positions and be able to switch pick and rolls. And that era, people were going through pick and rolls to stay with their man, and you had post players that played low post. You didn't see a lot of stretch bigs, and when they did get to the league, they were getting absolutely annihilated by people like Shaq. So
Come down.
I
here,
look
big
at like
fella.
the 2000s era. I look at the very last year of that era, and the fact that the Thunder had to win 50 games to sneak into the playoffs. That's how crazy competitive the West was in that time period. That's my favorite era, but I felt like it was real basketball. People took advantage of mismatches. The mid range was still alive, and I think, God willing, SGA is bringing the mid range back. So because the whole
and
3-pointer or at
Well,
the rim shit
analytic
was-
shit is what
Yeah.
that's what kind of got Melo out of the league too.
Yeah.
And now it's why are we paying attention to analytics? Let's actually let's hoop.
watch the game.
Well,
Yeah,
let's just
let's go
hoop.
get-
Let's just
go
go
get
get
a
a
shot.
shot.
And
Go
especially
get to
back
your
then, I
spot.
felt like
Yeah.
that was being a skilled passer meant so much more to the game then than
Yeah.
it does now, because now it's very run and gunnish style. Hey, all you got to do is really throw it to that spot. It's a lot of drive and kick. When Steve Nash was in his prime and the Spurs were in their runs, like it was a skill to watch them set people up on pick and
Rondo.
roll or run plays to get people open at the elbow, at the corner, in the low post, like watch somebody go to work down there. Right
Mouse in the
now
house, barbecue
it's
chicken.
not the worst era of
Mhm.
basketball,
Mhm.
but right now it's not the same. There's not a lot of people that could go to work in the low post the way that they
It
used to in the
I think
2000s.
it's starting to come back, and if like watching the playoffs last year, you've seen a lot more of people willing to go to the post. You've seen more. I think when everyone runs the same kind of offense or the same kind of defense, it becomes just eh. But you started to see it, and that's why it was a good thing to see the Thunder win the finals last year, is because mid range was so big, such a big part of their game, where it's a copycat league.
Hmm.
So if it works
Mhm.
for them, you're going to start seeing other teams go back to it, and people start
Yeah.
thinking about things like, oh, this era has the most skilled players, but I think there was skill in every era. I think there was skill
Yeah.
in every era. It was just different. It's different
Mhm.
skill for that time. I think people misconstrue with if you drop I'm trying to think of a if you drop Chet back in the early 90s, he's not Chet because they're not going to allow him to do what he's doing right now. It's not that he's
Yeah.
not skilled, it's just the play style, the coaches, they won't
Yeah.
let him, and you also have to guard check. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, now get your big bony ass pause down in this paint
Down in the
and
lane.
just
Yeah.
get dunked
See
on,
what you can
son.
do.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's
so
see
it's
what you can
it's
do down there.
there's always
I
skill
am
in every era.
terrified at
Yeah.
the thought of what Shaq would do to Chet.
Bro, that would be
Or
crazy.
I mean, even Wimby, even
Yeah, he
yeah,
would
Bro.
Wimby.
smoke Wimby. It's just that though. But the skill set and whatnot, like people think that could he handle the ball like what they're doing now, like Shaq? I don't think so. But young Shaq in Orlando was leading fast breaks, and they were like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
"Get your big ass on the block."
What the
Yeah.
fuck are you
Yeah,
doing?
so
Stop
that
running.
yeah, he could do it. He just it was one of those of like, why do that when we could just throw the ball to you on the low block and
And you can
nobody can
average
stop you? It's
30
it's
and
Yeah.
like
20.
it's the thought process of OU last night of like, hey, we should just run the ball, and it's like, nah, let's run this
Let's
RPO.
let's
Why?
throw this slant.
Yeah, yeah. You don't do anything if somebody can't stop you. There's no reason to go do anything else except for
And
flash.
I mean, and at the same time, maybe, just from a objective standpoint, maybe we're being a little biased, but I think our bias comes from the fact that that era of basketball to us is the most entertaining. I don't watch a lot of basketball now. I mean, the only reason why I watch now is because the NBC deal, so I can watch it 2 nights a week because
Yeah.
I have Peacock and it's on like local television again. I mean, outside of that, I mean, there's like a 7 or 8 year gap. I did not watch basketball unless it came on during the playoffs. Like that was
Well,
it.
it you also have
Yeah.
to think too though that the 2010s era was ass. Not it wasn't that it was just it you came off of that the big three Celtics and Kobe at the end, and then you had the Thunder take off, and as they were taking off, then Braun went to the Heat, and that kind of fucked
Yep.
the entire Eastern Conference up
Yep.
because it was like, all
Yeah.
right, we're getting Heat like burnout because they're always there. Then you had
Those
KD
poor
shortly
Toronto
after
teams, man.
go
I
to Golden
was
State. And so it was an era where the regular season started to mean less because we knew what was going to happen. We knew who was going to the
Yeah.
finals. So that when KD did leave finally and went to or he got hurt and the Warriors kind of split up and then LeBron went to the Lakers, then it was okay, now we're entering back into a parity of now who's
yeah.
going to be the best because we've seen different teams. We've seen the Lakers in the bubble. We've seen the Bucks. We've seen the Celtics. We've seen the Thunder. We've seen these teams win, and it's like it's a breath of fresh air to be able to say, I don't know who's going to win, so let me watch so that I can figure out who the best is, who's going to win. Because back then, again, we knew what was happening.
And
Yeah. Well,
also too,
that's
man. Oh no, go ahead, Cam. Sorry.
I was gonna say that. Well, that's what Marlon kind of hit the nail on the head for me. Like in the 2000s, I don't recall seeing a lot of superstars bouncing around teams.
You had to
Like
get
role
traded.
players or
You had to get traded.
or yeah, like role players or like superstars past their prime, maybe. But or if
Entering
there
their
was a
prime, yeah,
or
they
if there
didn't.
was a ton of drama surrounding like the Kobe Shaq thing. That
Yeah,
happened
Or the AI
because there was
thing.
hella
Yeah.
drama. So there was something to watch when Shaq went to Miami. But as far like you had rivalries. You had, Kobe and the Nuggets. He'd beat the Nuggets, and the Nuggets would come back the next year and be as good or better, and that's what you look for. Like,
yes,
or the Spurs and the Suns.
yes,
Like that was must-watch TV. You went to the 2010s, and LeBron went to the Heat, and then KD went to the Warriors, and then LeBron went back to the Cavs and brought every goddamn superstar in the league with him. Like, it's like Marlon said, it takes away from natural rivalries. It takes away from parity. It's why even watch when when you go into a season like, yeah, the Celtics the one year had a good year, but then they played LeBron when LeBron actually cared, and LeBron fried the fuck out of them.
yeah.
So
It was a
it's
there.
it's the
It was
same with the
it's
yeah.
competitive
Go ahead.
basketball, right? Like we watched it because it could be competitive, but we knew the outcome.
Yeah, like
There were probably more sweeps in the 2010s era from 2010 to 2020 or 2011 to 2020, whatever. There were probably more sweeps in that era than in from 90 to 2010 because
yeah,
they it
and
was
it's
just
like
yeah.
it took away from like it took away to me it took away like in the regular season you didn't have superstar versus superstar matchups. Like
Yes.
you didn't have LeBron versus Carmelo
Right.
on Christmas Day.
Right.
You didn't have KD versus Kobe or
Right.
KD and Russ versus Kobe Powell.
Yeah.
Like it
You
took away
had
those matchups.
yeah,
Like
you would have unmatched rivalries where it would be like
you
fucking Steph Clay and KD versus Russ. And it's
yeah,
like it's a cool rivalry because of KD
Cool.
leaving, but we know
but it's not
What's
competitive.
yeah,
gonna happen?
yeah,
Yeah.
Like like one of the funnest like from 2010 to 2016, one of the funnest things like I remember was OKC San Antonio
yes,
because it was two vastly different styles and it was the two in my like up until 2015, it was the two most dominant teams in the West.
yes.
When KD let well, then you got introduced because when Golden State took off, KD was hurt. And so then the notion was Golden State only won because the Thunder were hurt. So then you got 1 year of that, and it was cinema. Game
And
seven,
it was gonna be
it
cinema
was a
the
bang,
next year.
bro. Yeah,
Yes.
like
Mhm.
that move robbed the NBA fan base of what could have potentially been a great rivalry for the next 7 8 years.
Well, and then
Like,
even that like the Bron to the Heat, that robbed the NBA of I think actually spearheading LeBron into that superstar level world, like
yes,
where it was up until that point, you've seen superstars throughout the history of the NBA get to a place, run into a brick wall, and have to learn how to break that brick wall
get through
down.
it. Yeah,
And
Yeah.
Braun was like, I'm not going to go through this. I'm going to go through this door over here and just go around it. And he did it. And it became
Yeah.
less of a rivalry because even the only people that think that that was still a rivalry were are diehard LeBron fans who are going to defend that move by anything. But
yeah,
that wasn't a rivalry anymore. They dominated that whole rivalry once he went to the Heat. So you
bro,
eliminated that whole the
Yeah.
Paul Pierce LeBron drama, the
bro.
all that shit. You
Yeah.
eliminated that.
You had before that move to Miami in order. You had Detroit, Cleveland, Boston, Orlando, Boston. Like that's how deep the East really was before that move to the Heat.
Yep.
Orlando was fucking good. Cleveland was fucking good. Boston was fucking good, and Detroit was still good. Then when
I
he
think
went
that's why
to
Dwight
Miami,
Howard leaves and goes to the Lakers. I think
Well,
that's why he.
because LeBron went to the Heat,
Yeah.
and it's
I
the
think he
East
was
is you
like,
can't
"Fuck,
win the East. Yeah,
I might as well go
you
to the
can't
West
win.
at this
You
point."
can't.
bro.
Well, you can't win the East because of them.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. Is like
Those
before
Portland
landscape.
Pacers teams, those Toronto teams
Yeah,
that were really, really
the
good.
fucking Hawks,
Fucking
bro. That
Hawks.
1 year,
Yeah.
yeah, but that you can't
Crazy.
compete because the Heatles. That's and then once that breaks up, you think, oh my God, there's going to be a little bit more parity. Katie's like, y'all think.
Yeah, going to Golden State. And LeBron's like, hey, I'm going to Cleveland.
Yep,
Kyrie,
I'm bringing everybody. Kyrie's
fucking
there.
K-Love,
Kevin Love,
J.R.
Richard
Swish.
Jefferson, Jr. Come on. But yeah, Isaiah, did you ever answer, or are you sticking with the 2000s to 2010s era?
Oh yeah, I think we're all in agreement
Yeah.
with that era.
Yeah.
The eras beforehand. I mean, the drama of the '80s was very.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
fuck
You
with the
know,
80s. I think it was
That,
cool.
but that's documentary style. You know, we
Yeah.
don't know. We didn't live in it. I think the '90s we were just young enough to start to understand basketball and witness some of those things. But also, it was nobody was stopping Jordan if he played. Nobody was stopping Jordan. So whenever he retired, the first year after he retired, then you start to see like a huge shift in the NBA. That's where some of the parity came along. The Spurs had to get better. The Knicks were still coming off of a lot of things. Like you saw so much more. Even the Nets in the early 2000s,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the 2010s were the best because
I
of those reasons.
I think the '90s from an entertainment value were on par with the 2000s, but the talent wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
Fuck
Like-
no.
Like I think Jordan dominated the '90s. Some do in part because there wasn't as much talent across the board. You did have your Chucks. I mean, I'm not taking away from those guys. You had Clyde and all them.
It
But
just wasn't. It wasn't as like the talent that was there too. At the end of the Bulls run, they were young. They caught Shaq young. It was before Timmy joined David Robinson. There were like Kobe was young with the Lakers. That they were all
AI
T-Mac
was young. Steve Nash
T-Mac was
wasn't
young.
even a
Yeah.
starter.
Yeah, Dirk
They
was
were the
skinny.
reason. They were the reason why the NBA's talent grew was because of the late '80s, early '90s time.
Yes,
Like all those kids that grew up watching Magic, Larry, and Jordan grew up and came to the league in the late '90s, early 2000s.
I definitely think the biggest difference is the people that were drafted in the late 90s still carried a lot of that comparative spirit going into the 2000s.
Yeah.
yes,
And that's what made that era the best era of basketball.
yes. And then
Yeah.
after that, they teamed up. But I'm mixing the top 5 wrestling themes until next week. I gotta go eat. But leave the people with some. What y'all's message for these motherfuckers this week?
Let's go, Jags, baby.
Who does Jacksonville play this week?
The fucking Raiders, and honestly,
okay.
It could go either.
Anyway.
Gino
Nah.
could fry. Gino could
Brock
fry
Bowers-
the hell out of our defense.
Brock Bowers
but-
is
Rob
playing,
Bowers
right?
is supposed to be back.
Yes.
Oh God.
That's what I'm saying. Like Gino, being Gino, could throw 5 picks because our defense forces turnovers, but he also could throw for 400 yards because our defense can't stop people from throwing for 400 yards. So I'm nervous.
I'll leave the people with this. Shout out to the Giddler, absolutely balling in Chicago right now. Not only did
Yeah,
he beat
Giddy.
the allegations,
Oh,
but he's also beat the shit out of any team that steps on the court with him at the moment.
bro, he's cooking, man. Like he is for real cooking. He's banging threes too. I'm like, this dude, okay.
You got some of that good.
Oh,
Overage. Anyways, I will say I appreciate everybody for listening. I understand why Dallas almost burned their city down because Luka is better than I thought. He's still a crybaby, but he's better than I thought.
Bro, them,
fucking Doncic.
bro. And that Laravia dude. Who the
Yeah,
fuck
bro,
is
we
this
got some
guy?
exciting. They call them the
Who the
exciting
fuck is-
whites, bro.
The exciting whites of
Oh
the
my
Lakers.
God.
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah. And
It's because
Edwards even
they-
said it. He was like, "Who the fuck is number 12?"
Bro, they hired a white. They hired a young white basketball coach. He's like, I know skill. Okay.
White, baby, white. But we'll talk to y'all next week. We out. Peace.